Hi, everybody. 11 p.m. It's Wednesday. We're here live with the Girl Power Hour and our special guest, Miss Mindy. So bear with us for a second. Y'all know us ladies got to get this thing together. Mindy, so I can see you. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hold up. Oh, give me a second. 1 second.
All right.
Oh, Miss Mindy, Miss Mindy, we are not going to turn this fashion beauty episode into a comedy show, but y'all bear with me because I can't stand the bugs, but I'm trying to, do this natural thing. Hi, how are
Oh
you?
my gosh.
You looking fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, was it hard to get or like acclimated on here, or was it went pretty smooth?
I joined as a guest and I said I'm just gonna hope that when she starts the show, boom, I'm gonna drop it.
Yeah.
That's
So,
what I'm
oh my goodness. So it look what came off. See, this why we need a whole team. People don't this my necklace I went and brought today. Hold up.
Oh, don't you hate that when you buy something new?
I got it from Ashley Stewart. They be like, why you in here? Cause I can wear anything. That's why. But yes, girl, I'm glad it was easy. So Restream, I just like to always be dropping some gems. It's a place where we can do our videos. Another
Oh,
podcaster introduce me to this girl. It's a lot you can do on here, but we learn as we go. So I'm glad you were able to get on. And
yeah.
hi. I gotta check you out. Look, and too, y'all, I'm trying to be because I know you said it's all about fashion. So I try to get my style on. And these
What you
are
looking
not my
for?
real glasses. Girl, these not my
Oh,
real glasses. So I'm trying to see you because you're looking so pretty in this pink. Oh, yes,
thank
I
you.
love your hair. You always looking good. So real quick, y'all,
Yeah.
I want to just give an intro and then I'm going to pass the mic to Miss Mindy and she's going to introduce herself. And one thing I know for sure, because y'all I've had guests sometimes, they're doing big things and they like how what should I say? How should I introduce myself? But my girl here, she got this press thing on lock. Y'all hear me? So get it twisted. So I just want to give her flowers for a second. Read about a little bit about it, but we just going straight into the show. Nevertheless, I've been, revamping the bio stuff like that. So y'all can read all about the show on there. You want your own information, just send me a DM. But first and foremost, let me tell y'all about this lady here, how she's such a godsend, right? And I am
Huh.
looking forward to, this is only the first one we're doing. We're gonna keep this thing rolling so we can start to have more beauty and just makeup and hair and fashion. Those are my things from, like growing up in modeling and stuff like that. But she's an expert. So, and it's time we got to stay revamping. But so I first got a message from Miss Mindy, and she was like, and I just say Miss out of just love, it's nothing. But oh my God, y'all, let me tell y'all. I see real boss ladies, they like boss ladies. Because I got a lot of energy. I don't be playing when I go in my little Beyonce mode, as they say. But my people that know me say it be I turn the mode, but y'all know God working with me. But when I get in this mode, I'm in my mode. But something I learned from assisting other people that's doing great things, you can be the queen, you can be the boss, but when you know how to be a servant and assist other people too, it shows. So it just creates something. So me, I'll be like busybody, but I like other women like that, because she was like, look, girl, what's going on with your show? I
Yeah,
wasn't even
let's
really
do this.
doing it active because my job be having me crazy. I don't know what to do. So
Mm,
she was like, I want to be on your show. I'm going to be like, the way she said it was like, just get this thing together, girl. Let's get this date. And then something, girl, Mindy, or something a lot of people they lose out because they don't know how to communicate and negotiate and think of another time and think of another time. Busy people respect other busy people. So we
right.
just kept emailing. She didn't give me no drama when I asked her to email me. She didn't get offended. That sister, oh, she sent the press release. All her stuff was together. So
Mhm.
y'all, we're gonna talk more about this on the next shows. But she is a professional. You see what I'm saying? So then she just kept hitting me up, y'all. And that in itself was inspiring. So I'm looking to meet, and I wish you was down here today because I'm
Aw, I
starving. We could went to
know.
go get something to eat. But see, I got a lot of energy. I have to calm myself down. And they be like, slow down, sis, one thing at a time. So we're gonna pass the mic to Miss Mindy. Can
Mm.
you please tell us your name, about yourself, and where you from?
All right, so I'm Mindy Green. I am best known as a makeup artist, but I am also a cosmetologist. And I have been in the beauty industry a very long time, but I count 2005 is when I got my cosmetology license as like a
Mhm.
big moment in my career. And I am from the DC metro area. Grew up in PG County. I'm from Glen Arden.
Okay.
So, some of you know the old school Landover Mall. Well, I'm telling my age by saying Landover Mall.
Well,
But
I
I
just
grew
come from about Forestville, so yes,
okay,
ma'am.
right. So I grew up like 5 minutes from Landover Mall. So that's what I always think of as a landmark over there. And
Yes.
but I ended up taking myself up to the Baltimore side of Maryland when I went to college. I'm a Morgan State grad, so I don't know if we have any other Morganites out there. But that was also where I started really doing like beauty professionally. Like, of course, everybody practices on their friends and family, but in my college dorm room, I'm doing people's hair. Then eventually, I got my first job at a makeup counter. So that's really when I started my professional career in beauty.
Okay. I love it. I love it. So, well, I don't mind me. I got a question because your hair's so pretty and shiny,
Oh, well,
and
I just got it done now. I just
girl, that
it's so
thing looking good. So I'm gonna get with you on
hot.
a personal note,
Okay.
because we gonna talk about this a little bit later. But us girls who are, into weaves, into wigs, different things, taking care of our hair underneath is a priority, especially for us Black women. Sometimes it's a sensitive subject. Our hair's falling out. We're getting over this. We're going back to that. Recently, I relaxed my hair because I don't care what nobody got to say. That's what worked for me. And when I seen you relax yours, I was like,
Yeah.
I knew that's my girl.
Yeah.
So Your hair
Wow.
just looking so good, girl. So I had to shout that out again.
But thank
But
you. Well, shout
starting
out to
out,
Maisha. Maisha did my hair today,
hey
but
Maisha.
yes,
So let
yes.
me let me I'm just gonna I take a few notes while you're talking too.
Mhm.
And you said your thing is makeup and beauty.
Yes.
So I want to just stay there for a second. Um, my experience with makeup, we went to like modeling school when we was little. So we
Oh,
learned the basics, like nails, your toes, how to apply, we learned all that very young. So it meant a lot. Like over the years, things started to come back to me,
mm,
um hair. I kind of got into, I don't know, wigs and weavy stuff young.
me
I
too.
had a lot of hair back in my younger days, but the wigs and weavy stuff just came from something you mentioned growing up in this area, starting out with hair shows, which you say that
Oh,
tell our age sometimes. So I
yes.
want to ask you about your early makeup and beauty. Like, when did you know this is my thing? This I like, what inspired you growing up, and what comes to mind when you think of how you knew that was going to be your thing?
Oh, beauty. Well, you know what? Some of this is from looking in the Ebony and Jet magazines and seeing the fashion fair models. So there was this one model, I think her name was Javon, and I was like, oh, I really want to be Javon. So I know some of
Mm-hmm.
it came from looking at those magazines, but started playing around with like your Barbie dolls and doing hair. And then it was probably when I was like a freshman in high school when I really thought about cosmetology and actually biggest life
Hmm.
regret is not taking the program in high school. I don't know why I second guessed it, but for whatever reason I did, and I didn't take the
Yeah.
program. And so it wasn't until I was almost 30 before I finally got to cosmetology school. So now
Mm-hmm.
I try to be a mentor. Like if I know someone who's young, who's thinking about
Mm-hmm.
they want to do nails, they want to do hair, whatever. If I can be kind of like that fairy godmother, encourage them, give them supplies, try to keep them going, I try to do that because I feel like I didn't have that when I was new or really thinking about it. And I wonder sometimes how much further along could I have been if I had a
Mm.
mentor when I was younger.
So you gave, and I'm making notes, like I said, as you talk,
Mhm.
because I just put down that's something that we could build together, something with the young girls or with the young people.
Yeah.
I would love that. So, um, when you said you took me back to when you mentioned when we were younger, they had stuff. I forgot about that. They had cosmetology school. They had those class. What was that school?
Yeah. I mean, I went to
It was
Eleanor
in the
Roosevelt.
DMV.
Yeah, I went
Okay.
to Roosevelt High School in Greenbelt, and they did offer a cosmetology program, but I think it was something with Bladensburg High School, kind of how it worked. I don't think it was actually at Roosevelt, but if I had done it, I would have been licensed by the time I was a senior and
I know
graduate.
what you mean.
Yeah,
So
so that's
also,
something I still think about today, like, oh my God, if I had just done that.
I know
But
what you mean. Yes, everything happened the way it's supposed to, they say. So
okay, well
let me
that
ask you, with makeup and beauty, and you talk about these magazines, I had to write that you struck a chord. Because today I was reminiscing about thinking about how I was going to talk to you, and it made me think about how did I start the same way, girl. Growing up, those magazines, they used to be like, don't buy no more magazines. You wasting your money. You like
oh,
when I was in that store, girl, I didn't care if that thing, we used to go to the bookstore. I want that $15 magazine because it has some nice pictures.
pictures.
So I know you said Ebony, you mentioned a model. Is there anybody, it doesn't even have to be just from growing up or when you were in college, but period, that's like a beauty makeup icon to you when you just like, oh yeah, that's my, I love this lady or this guy here.
Wow. That's kind of hard to say about one person because, yeah, it was definitely Ebony Jet. Also, Essence Magazine.
Mhm.
I definitely looked at quite a few of the models and the black hair, sophisticated black hair. Like the people
Yes.
who I
Yes.
really, work admire was Kim Lee, definitely Derek Rutledge. And just recently, I got to meet Derek at, an awards ceremony. And a few
Mhm.
years ago, I got to meet Reggie Wells, who was, formerly one of Oprah Winfrey's makeup artist,
Mm-hmm.
and also, why can't I think of his name right now? AJ Crimson. That's it. Another person. So I have more like makeup artists whose work I admire than
Yes.
like Kevin Aquan was also somebody whose work I really love looking at. But Sam Fine was also a makeup artist whose work I really admired. So it was just kind of looking at what they did because I'm mainly self taught and trying to recreate those things myself. So that's really how I learned. I had very little formal training in makeup artistry.
That's because you a beauty genius. So let me ask you this, because we getting to know you, but at
Okay.
the same time for the younger people. And I like how there's so much conversation in some of the things that a lot of the newer things we'll talk about that a little later too. The newer stylists are doing that needs to be corrected. So
Oh,
when you talk about some of these people that you admire, these legends you have even met or worked with, what are the qualities when you say, yeah, those are my top people, or this is who inspire me? What do they have to be to inspire your makeup mind and your, to
wow.
inspire you? Mhm.
Yeah, it's usually their creativity and how well they blend colors, how well they come up with color palettes for their client, how well they can actually service. Because one of the things about being called a true makeup artist is you have to be able to service a global palette. Like it shouldn't be that
Mhm.
show up and you can
Mhm.
only do people who look like you. You need to be able to do
Mhm.
any color in the rainbow. And we still have a
Mm.
problem with that in the industry where like usually in fashion week, New York Fashion Week, a lot of the models
Mhm.
complain that they have to bring their own foundation or the makeup artist there, the
Mhm.
hairdresser there aren't, equipped to do like textured hair. And so that's one of the things that I noticed about all these artists. They were multi-talented with across the spectrum, they can do beautiful makeup. And
Mhm.
also like you said, professionalism with being
Mhm.
on time, actually being early. When I was starting
Mhm.
MBB, I had asked some
One
people just
time is late.
yeah, it was like, well, what
Mhm.
don't you like about makeup artists? Just give me some of the things that you hate. And people would say that they were unreliable, that
Mm.
you could literally book them, call them that morning and confirm, and they still wouldn't show up. And so I was
Oh.
like, really? I didn't know that was such a problem. Or they would say that, maybe they're running behind, they're always late, or like I said,
Mhm.
they can't service anybody who sits in a chair. They can only service certain people. So I just tried to
Mhm.
make sure when I started the business, I said, well, I don't want any of those things to happen. Not only am I going to be there, I'm going to be on time or I'm going to be early. I'm going to
Mhm.
confirm with you the night before so I'm coming. I'm going to confirm again if I need to say, hey, I'm leaving the house. So I'm on the
Mhm.
way. And just those
Mhm.
little things about, setting yourself apart from other people. And if I say I'm doing your project, I'm not going to bump you for a higher paying project. That is also a thing that people
Integrity, yes.
about
Keep your word.
with makeup
Those
artists.
are so y'all don't miss these gems she dropping. Just like when you be at church, have that notepad to the side. So something that I heard her say, and I just want to chime in, is about the communication, the integrity of your word, the being on time.
Right.
So when I see you, I'm gonna bake you something because I'm a baker, right? But I remember some years back, right? Y'all I had to do this big thing. They was letting me like come set up and do your samples, and
Mhm.
y'all, when I got in the car, I was crying. Like, and then the guy was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Cuz I had to do this, I had to get that. I didn't have this, I didn't." And he was like, "Are you done?" He said, "That's your fault."
Mm.
He said, "When you wait till the day of to do everything, sweetie, that's not how it works. You have to go shopping this day. Go." And then I was like I'm big on accountability. So my little kid was like, just froze up, like, "Oh, okay, I see what you mean." So ever since then, I started to learn to prepare because, like you're saying, all people remember is you was a no-show or you were super late. And I see that with a lot of the younger people. They big on thinking what I'm crying about is bigger than me being on time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, and then too, y'all, the communication. Me too. I'm a bit of like in my own little world a lot. And one time I was working with this designer in New York, y'all. She was crying
Mm.
because she was like, I wasn't picking up. She thought something happened to me. And it's so crazy because her assistant was like, oh, you must ain't heard a cuss. Because if you did, you would know ain't nothing happened to this girl, you know. So I was like, nothing happened. I'm just on my way. And then I realized sometimes you have to do those checkpoints with it's part of being a professional. So like last night, me and Mindy talked
Yeah.
and we got a little, we got a little familiar, which is good
Yeah.
because sometimes we all have butterflies. So it's okay. And then even today, she checked in. See, she texted me. She's like, I'm running behind. But I was at the mall when you said that. So I was like, it's so good. So those things, I appreciate you saying that and just being so professional. But I'm gonna tell you the next two things real quick. Next, we're gonna get into this award show
Oh.
and just your experience, what you won, how you felt, who you saw, so we can live through you. Since next time I'm gonna try to be there, but
Okay.
I want to just go back real quick because this is important. When something I noticed that you said, you like ebony, you like jet, you like essence. So I think that meant a lot. Even looking at you right now, your look like the beauty, and it reminds me of the older school Black beauty. You know, it was just
Yeah.
like clean and fresh, and that's what your look is giving. So I can see that the inspiration comes from there. So like a lot of time when I dress and I go out, old people give me compliments. They be like, "Oh, I like how you're dressed." We don't see that anymore. So can you tell me what like this like I want to hear your thoughts like what it means to you to work with, even though we have the spectrum because that matters in getting this paper, but what's your vision for women of color, and did you see anything kind of growing up where you was like, I want to make this better or
Yeah.
anything like that?
Well, I think that before we have the spectrum of beauty brands that we have now, the main one that was out there for us was Fashion Fair. And I remember seeing
Mm-hmm.
that little pink compact, and the first time I bought something from Fashion Fair, when I first bought that makeup, like I don't know why I felt really, really special. It was a Belk
Yes.
store, I think in like North Carolina, where I bought my first cream foundation compact. And, I thought about, even though they were the only ones that were really big for Black women, there were still some limitations with their product. Like some of the foundations were a
Mm-hmm.
little ashy, some were still a little orange,
Mm-hmm.
so they did the best they could, but it could use some tweaking. And it's back out now. It's got a new owner and they have
Mm-hmm.
tweaked it. And they brought back some of the original colors that were really popular. But one of the things that I think has really been helpful to the industry was Fenty Beauty. Like Rihanna's line, when she
Yeah.
came out and introduced like 40 shades from the beginning and they were selling out, it was like all of a sudden light bulbs popped up and everybody's head in the industry like, oh my God, Black women buy makeup? They buy
Mm-hmm.
foundation. And it's like, are you
Mm-hmm.
serious? Like you didn't know? And so after she made all that money, then all of a sudden people do what I call these Me Too products. Everybody else says, "Oh, we got black brown foundation too. We got black makeup
Yeah.
too." And now
Yeah.
the influencers are really good at letting a brand know when they don't come out with a global palette or when it's trash,
We don't
they
want
will
it.
call them out. Yes, they will call them out. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad to see that evolution now. But it's still difficult to find. I'll say it, foundation for Black women, just finding the right shade because I know when I've been in Ulta just trying to like help somebody or Sephora, it's like you got to keep swiping. Might be a little too
Mhm.
red, might be a little too cool now. Then it's going to be okay. Well, that's a little too yellow. Okay, this one's coming up a little
Mhm.
pink. It is
On too
definitely a
orange too.
challenge. Yes, it is a challenge still to find a
Yeah.
good brown foundation. So that we hopefully one day that
Yeah.
in our industry.
Keep going up. So
Yes.
real quick before you tell us about the award show, right?
Hmm.
I've been hearing a lot about the Fenty. So for me, makeup's it's like it's a little crazy for me because of my allergies. I have like
Oh,
almost 100. It's really weird. Um, with the makeup. just sharing because you're a makeup genius, like with makeup outside of doing a show or something, it's just y'all do whatever y'all want. But for me, I find to use it a little more like when I'm going to work, different things. Two main places, my chin and my eye, under my eyes a bit. I'm trying to do better with the food allergies, but it kind of always leaves my eyes a little tired looking. So
Oh,
that is a great thing. And then with the chin, I have uh like endometriosis, fibroid stuff. So the hair thing on the chin. Oh, I get my mustache waxed. I don't care. They say I'm allergic to wax. I don't care.
oh,
Wax
shoot.
this mustache off. And for my chin, I'll get it waxed, but it's kind of like a restless energy that sometimes I'll pick it,
Oh,
so it have a little spot, and then they're like, you was picking again. So the only one, honestly, that I find that do like a magic is it's a YSL like
oh,
concealer foundation. And this is a bit expensive, but anything else I could play around with and mix just to do. But if I want to go bop, 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 and it look like new, that's it. So maybe I could try Fenty. I need to shop around a bit, but it's hard when you do you recommend anything for people with just bad allergies?
I mean, usually, and this is the only thing about really good skincare, it can be pricey, but I would look into
Yep.
like medical grade skincare. Balaj, is it Obagi? Sorry, that's one of the brands. Obagi is nice. I'm trying to remember the other one right now. I'll
And
have to get back to you.
we
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think medical grade
mhm.
are usually going to be better for you because they're usually made by a dermatologist, not the things you could find in a store.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you're right.
these are things you
Yep.
have to get at, like a med spa or dermatologist office,
Yeah, I
things
need
like
to work on that. Yes, you're right. Cause it'd be a hard. It go cute at first, but girl, I be looking crazy. So thank you
that.
for that. I had another question about. Oh, this just one tip. Cause for the people that's gonna see it, this is very important. But a lot of people ignore it because a lot of times we moving too fast. Only care about the look, but we don't care about the professional part, the underneath.
Uh,
What is something that you want, especially women of color, to know more about what goes under your makeup and caring for your skin and just how I know y'all big on that. Like we just be trying to do anything, but I know makeup artists be trying to school us. So what do you have to share about advising us to just be a little more safe with our skin?
Definitely, because people always ask me, well, what foundation do you use? What brand of makeup is it you're wearing? And it really comes down to the skincare. We always say from the best skin, you get the best makeup. Like it, you take
Mm-hmm.
care of your skin, then whatever makeup you put on top is going to look
Look
really good.
good.
But some
Mm-hmm.
people try to cover it up, like they'll use this full coverage makeup where you can't even see their skin. You just see all makeup
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they haven't taken care of their skin. So you got to get on a good skincare program. You have to make sure you take your makeup off at night. Don't sleep in your makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you want to make sure that, I like sometimes I will use a toner. It just kind of depends, but definitely a nice
Mm-hmm.
cleanser, a toner, a good moisturizer. I like moisturizers that have sun protection in them if you're not
Yeah.
going to use a separate sunscreen, because that's key to making sure we stay as youthful as possible. And
That part, yes,
and
ma'am. Don't crack. We
then
don't want to crack. We
what?
ain't ready to crack. So
And
one more thing.
then
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, well, when you put moisturizer on your face, this is another thing. People need to make sure they bring it down here to the neck area too. And if you can bring a little bit down to the décolletage.
We don't need three
Yeah,
colors going
yeah.
on.
Don't ignore like the neck when you're putting your skincare on, because this is a place that shows the signs of aging. That's if you're concerned about age. I don't want to presume everybody, is concerned about aging, but whatever you put on your face with that
I'll put it
skincare,
down here.
bring it to the neck too.
And guess what this lady told me one time? Cause I don't care. I'm real wild, but they be getting me together. My neighbor. Y'all know black people don't care. She was like, I know you be saying you ain't relaxed. This one, my hair was longer. And
Oh,
she's like, I know you don't want to be relaxing your hand, yada, yada, yada. She was like, but look, if you going to wear weed, you got to relax it in the back.
Oh,
He was like you said, you gotta break it down. She said, I don't want kid, I don't want to hear that. You gotta at least. So that's when I started. I was like, all right, man. I was like, at least relax my edges, you know. But I was that's the truth. But it reminded me when you said you can't have all of these. And something my mother had brought up too, like she gave me this moisturizer stuff to put up on my eyelid. It's something you mentioned about the aging too, because I find that when you are very allergic, you kind of let your skin go dry. I do it a lot because I don't like to feel anything, but I'm getting better with moisturizing. So yes, ma'am.
that's good.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
before you
Eye cream. That's what it is. Yeah, you need eye cream. Definitely.
eye cream, yes, eye cream.
Mhm.
Y'all hear that? She's schooling us. Eye
Yeah.
cream. So before you tell us about the woods, this just popped in my head when I was looking at you. So what would you say
Hmm.
is the right age that the parents should let the girls wear makeup? And even share if you say like maybe just this at this age, maybe that. What is your take?
I say get out of elementary school.
Of
At
course,
least
yes, ma'am.
middle school, because now when I've been
Mm-hmm.
the kids, I'm thinking about what did I look like in middle school? I'm like nothing like the kids today. They definitely are much
Nothing.
more advanced. Now I've seen girls who already have extensions
Yeah.
in middle school, already wearing lashes. Like that wasn't even
Yeah.
a thing. Um,
Yeah.
me. But I mean, yeah, middle school, maybe put a little lip gloss, maybe some mascara, keep it really simple, But once you get into high school, then okay, then we can start doing a little bit
Do you?
more, add some,
Yeah.
you know, foundation, add some blush to it, eyeliner. I mean, yeah, by the time you're probably a senior, you could do a full face if you felt like it. Some people are just really simple with makeup. They're just like, let me just do eyeliner, mascara, some gloss, keep it moving. And a lot of girls look good just like that.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
I just want to add, because I had this little, she was like my niece. This little girl was so beautiful. When I say this beautiful, like glowing dark skin, her face, oh my gosh, so pretty. But that child wouldn't leave that house without a whole foot. Like, I think she just started young. And she was like 15 years old. And we used to say, girl, you don't need, my mom used to say, now when you get older,
I
you're gonna need it because you wearing it too much. But I just want to encourage the young girls that what she just said, you don't need it. Like you don't need it to go out and to be seen. You're beautiful. So yes, ma'am, tell us about these awards. Tell us about the award
Yes.
show.
So yes, the DMV Community Awards Show and Fashion Gala. It's still somewhat in its infancy, the organization, but they hope for it to be, the one of these big award shows here in the DMV that's recognizing the local talent. And I actually attended last year, which was the second year, and then this year, when I saw that they were looking for nominations for things, I was just like, you know what? I said, well, do you ask someone to nominate you, or do you
Do you
nominate
nominate yourself?
because I'm always about self promotion. Like when I think about most of the TV segments I've got, it's self promotion.
Me
So I'm
too.
like, okay, you know what? And I just said, I'm just gonna write in, and what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? They say no, they ignore me. All right, well, it's all good. I put my name out there. That's all I can do. And
Mhm.
so when I put my name
What?
out, I guess they were kind of interested and they were like, okay, send me this, send me that. And then they were like, okay, do you have someone else who can kind of co sign to make sure that I wouldn't just, I guess, making stuff up
Yeah.
about me?
Catfishing.
And then, a little while, I think maybe like, I don't know, a week or so, then I get the email, hey, congratulations, you've been selected. So I was like, oh my God, seriously. That is really amazing, because it's kind of having people
Yes.
look at what you do. It's like you feel like sometimes you're doing things and you feel like you are progressing in your career and you feel like you've given back, but then sometimes you might second guess it. So when you tell
Yeah.
somebody else, hey, here's all the things I've done, like my whole career,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think this is worthy of being recognized? And they're like, yeah, you know what? You are doing your thing. So that was really big
Yeah.
for them to say, yeah, especially knowing that the year before, Derek Rutledge got to be one of the beauty icons. So to come behind him,
What?
I'm like, wow, I'm moving up.
Yes. I love that girl. Look, you are such a vibe. You're an inspiration. I want to go just sketch something after I get off the phone. Girl, I can't wait to get into this fashion thing, which like building some stuff with this. So, and you see, y'all see how what she just said, and it's so true. When she says sometimes, especially us on this end, and I say this about people in music, because that's like my first big thing. People in music, all creators, we sit sometime where we at, y'all. We got all these thoughts. We got all of these limits. We do. Even though we don't come off like that, sometimes we be like, nobody cares. That's what I want us to remember. When we come out, the people love us. They like, oh, like you heard what she said. They once they seen her resume, they like, yes, girl, you need to be celebrated. So, and this is something I came up with a while ago. When I got something to do, like how we had this to do, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what happened. When I if something come negative, I'ma really make sure I do it because I'm like, oh no, it's something good behind this door. Because if you don't have nothing trying to stop you, sometime you don't know. But if
Yeah.
something trying to stop you, don't let it. Make it inspire you to push through more and don't be afraid to promote yourself. Now, don't be like somebody. This what I find. They used to say this about me because I never like to sing much. I rap all day, but I don't even like to sing at church. They like, that's how we know you okay, because you don't want to do it. It be the worst ones that be the first ones always promoting themselves. So if you great, don't be afraid. You know what I'm saying? Be humble, be kind. That's how you open them doors. What I told a man the other day, I said, he was talking about he was like begging, not begging. I'm like, use that word. He's asking for money. Then he was mean too a little bit. He's like, you see, they don't like nobody. White people don't. I said, that's not true. And I said, what did God say? He said, the power is in the tongue. The speak life will speak death. I said, yeah, because I'm about to give you $5 right now. You see that?
Yeah.
So speaking sometime we can open the doors for ourselves. So yes, yes. So now you gotta tell us who you saw there. Did you like anyone or you know, I don't even say it like
Oh,
that, but did
Lord. Okay. I
anyone
can.
like did you caught the vibes with that was cool or like were you inspired by
Okay.
anyone there?
Well, you know what? I did get to meet Russ Parr. So Russ Parr, of course, is in radio. Been on radio forever.
Nice.
Yeah, in
Yes.
the DC Metro syndicated show. And I actually chatted with him for a second, telling him a story about when I called into his show many, many years ago. And so he was really cool because actually I told him that they used to have this thing called the Hook 'em Up Wednesday. And it was
Yeah.
like, and so you could call in and then you could say, hey, I want to be hooked up. And they would, basically try to hook you up with some of the other men who were like, on the audience. And there was a guy, I ended up actually dating him off and on probably for about 3 years. And so
Oh
I told him,
wow.
yeah. And he was just like, he said, you got 3 years. He said, sometimes people don't even get 3 days from the hook 'em up. So you did
That's a good thing.
yeah, yeah. And then also Prince Dejour was there again, another person who's
I
been
ain't
in me.
seen him in a long time.
Yes, yes, because we a lot of us who were a little bit older, we know him from Teen Summit back on BET back in the day,
Yes.
but also was on radio here too. So I did get to
Yeah.
chat briefly, and then Tristina Gray, who was also a legend for radio here in the DMV.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and then I got
Mhm.
to finally meet Derek, chatted with him a little bit because I said he'd probably come back to the awards. I wasn't sure, so I got to see him, meet him, and told him that I had been following his career since the 90s when he was,
Mhm.
oh, it was either him or Kim Lee that was in almost every photo in black hair back in the day.
Mm.
He said,
Mhm.
since you was doing makeup for Ultimate You Salon in Wheaton, and he was, dang, that is like really
Yeah,
old.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was good. Designers had some amazing pieces. Only thing I wish they had a little more diversity in the model body types because it's always straight size people. I'm like, well, okay, there's thick chicks like me. We in the
Yes,
fashion
ma'am. Yes,
expand, but
ma'am. Yes.
yeah, maybe next year. Maybe next year they'll have some
So
plus
that's
size.
amazing
Hmm.
because you know how you said people don't always know it's impossible to know a black woman age for real out here. But when we
Yeah.
start talking and we be like, I see you here, I saw, and people be looking like, so it's so cool when you finally meet people that you kind of follow for years, even before social media. And I
Yeah.
find that these people, they keep people because they know so many people. And by just meeting And by just showing up, that's what I was just talking about. By just showing up sometime
Mhm.
and building your network, you never know who could, oh, well, I'll let just might call you one day for an opportunity. So I think that's awesome. And it was something else you just said. It was she was okay. So with this one, I am going after because I don't know. I started thinking when you was
Okay.
talking real quick.
But
I
one
just
thing I
started
want to
thinking about my life,
um
like history.
okay, just
Being
wanted to
a
touch
makeup artist. Being a
well, I just
makeup artist.
want to touch on one
Oh,
quick thing about what you were
oh
just
yeah, go
saying
ahead, go. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
with showing up. Like
Mhm.
sometimes people will like want to go someplace, but they're like, well, I don't have anybody to go with me. So, forget it. I'm just not going to go. I'm saying
Mhm.
go anyway. Go scared.
Yes.
You're going to meet somebody when you're there. You're not going to be standing around. Like, I'm sure if you go, you're going to meet people. You're going to meet people.
Yeah.
Good time. Show up because you never know who's going to be in that room. And then you might have some great opportunity, some networking with somebody that you didn't even think you were going to meet, but you showed
Yeah.
up and there you are.
See what she just said too, that's a whole gym, y'all. Let me tell y'all why. Because me, but I kind of get it naturally a bit. My mother, she go where she want, but my grandmother on my father's side is like that. She don't drive. She never really drove. Her husband
Oh,
pick her up and drop off, but that lady get around. Y'all hear me? She got her own agenda. And my mother's mother was like that. Like her and my grandfather always had separate cars. She was a like how you start doing stuff and as an adult and you start saying, "Oh, my grandmother used to go out like this alone," or this person used to. So for me, I notice sometimes how other women they might be a little older but they gaze at me sometime when I'm out dining by myself. I have a blast, y'all. Then I got food allergy. So I like to sneak by myself so people don't monitor me. So I be just having a good time. And this is the thing. Sometimes if you ever let yourself like, oh, who gonna go with me? Let me tell y'all something. You have more fun. Be safe. But when I'm by myself, I'm less like it's I want to say this word, but it's kind of scrambled in my eyes. But you're less restricted. Y'all know what I mean? Because sometimes when I'm around people, they're not always fun. They're like
yeah.
kind of bossy or controlling. You know what I'm talking about? Like, especially some women, they like, oh my God, it's just such a drain. But I could tell me and you might need a security guard, girl, because we gonna cut up. But when I go out and I'm alone, let me tell y'all this when you are in this field, going to events like that by yourself is like a job interview. Would you take somebody with you on a job interview? If they're not highlighting you, if they're not in support of you and who you are in that building to be, you just don't need people hang. I'm speaking
Yeah.
from experience. You don't need the whole entourage of hangers. People might want to bless you or pull you up to an opportunity. They say, "Ooh, who she with? Oh no, no," and they gonna go on. But being by yourself can get you through some doors, baby. But yes,
Yeah.
you gave me a flashback.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you know what? You just made me think of something. Like, and this is a story, and now I'll let you move on from it.
No,
Where
you
me and one
good.
of my friends,
That's how I like for it to go. Go ahead.
like me and one of my friends were in a restaurant. This is like years ago in Rockville. And we were having dinner, and then I saw this gentleman who was sitting by himself in the restaurant. And I don't know why I
Mm,
was just like, he just looked like a business traveler. I don't know, because around that time I had done a lot of
yeah.
business travel myself. And just like you, going to restaurants, eating dinner by myself. And for some reason, I was like, maybe we should invite him over to have
Yeah.
dinner with us. And my
It's a
friend was like, no,
friendly.
no, don't do it. She's like, don't. I said, no, I said, for some reason, I feel like I just need to ask. And I had asked the waiter, can you tell that gentleman, hey, if he doesn't want to dine alone, that, we'd love to have him join us for dinner. And so the waiter's like, okay, I'll go ask him. So he goes over to the guy, he asks him, the guy actually declined. He just said, no,
Mhm.
thank the ladies, but he said, I'll come over and talk to them before I leave. And so I was
That
saying,
was his
okay, cool.
piece.
You yeah, maybe he just wanted, like you said, be
Mhm.
alone with his thoughts, just kind of, do his own thing, didn't want to talk to anybody or meet nobody new. And so
Mhm.
before he leaves, he does come over and he said, I want to thank you ladies for the invitation. He's like, I'm in town because my best friend died, so I'm here for the funeral. And so, that's why I really didn't want to, have dinner when I'm in that kind of state of mind. But, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you two giving the offer. And so I said, okay, so sorry to hear about your friend, and, wished him a good evening, safe travels back home. And then the waiter comes over and he's like, your bill is paid for. And we're like, what? And he's like, the bill is paid for. And he left a very generous tip on top of it. So I was like,
You
what?
see that?
Yeah. Inviting somebody,
What? See
buying
what I'm talking about, y'all? We could write a book about just moments that people would not believe. Kindness, you never know what you're gonna get for following your. And this is something I gotta say something about the Lord.
mm,
This is something I don't know where I picked it up from, but it was like that's what now it's all about discernment when you a giver and you a friendly person. That's what I had to grow into wisdom to know. Okay, it ain't I'm just feeling like no, you still have to pull it together because it's a dangerous place out here. But it was like whenever we have that spirit tell us to say something to somebody,
mm,
to give something to somebody, or to do something, do not let it pass.
yeah.
So that's what that was. When you don't let it pass, not that you looking for a blessing back,
Yeah.
but sometimes it be the most beautiful blessing.
Mm,
So yes, ma'am. Okay, so what do you have any like even if you can't think of see you're so fun. I should have sent you some questions, but I now that I think of them, I gotta send these for next time because sometimes it's hard to think about some stuff. But this is what I was thinking too, like even if you don't think of the exact moment,
mm,
you have any like horror things you had to overcome as a makeup artist, or sometimes people think, because you beautiful and glamorous, it's always been beautiful or glamorous. But I know like one time I got casted for this fashion show,
mm.
it was off the chain backstage. Do you hear me? They was off the chain. And they was off the chain, y'all. And then something happened where I don't know if I touched something. And then somebody started going off.
Mm.
And all I knew was I was at that age when I knew I had to pack my stuff back in my bag. And I was like, and I just remember I didn't say nothing. I was headed for the door. And I see like one of the designers, she was like, you gone. I was like traumatized. I was like, yeah, I gotta get out of here. This look like it's gonna turn into something crazy. But it's like I sometimes I go so it's a little wild and ratchet. I'll be like, oh no, this not my scene. I gotta go. Have you ever had anything where it's you had to say, oh, I don't know about this one.
Man, I've been very fortunate. I'll say very fortunate that I haven't had too many crazy things
Yes,
happen
ma'am.
around me, you know, in the beauty industry. I've actually had some moments where actually had missed this one thing. It was actually a beautiful moment, but I totally missed it years ago. And I'm glad the person told me about it because
Mhm.
I don't know how it just went over my head. I didn't even picture it. But this was years ago when I was doing makeup in one of these glamour studios. You know how they have like the used to call it glamour shots?
I remember
And
that. Yes, glamour
okay, so
shot
yeah, that kind of stuff.
at the mall. Yes,
And
I remember.
okay, I'm really
Hey, look,
polite.
real quick though. You brought me back to glamour shots, and when we were young, I feel so cheesy. We used to do the mall fashion shows. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Hmm.
Well, there was a little girl who came in to, get the little glamour shot experience. And we don't usually do a whole lot with kids. We just put a little lip gloss, a little blush on them, maybe a little.
Hmm.
And so there was this one little girl who came in and, sat in the chair and I just did what we did. I noticed that she had like maybe like a cut like in her eyebrow, like where she just had a space where there wasn't any hair. And
I got
so I
that.
just took, yeah, a little eyebrow pencil, just filled in that little spot and I had kind of sent her on her way to go. And one of the other clients who was there came up to me and she said, that little girl just came to life in your chair. She was like, when she walked in, she was like withdrawn. She kind of had her head down, wasn't really smiling. But by the time she got out your chair, she was smiling. She was happy. It was like a whole different little girl from sitting in that chair. And I was like, wow. And I said,
Yeah.
what? I said, I'm so glad she told me that because it's one of those things that I always think about why I like being a makeup artist, what we do for people to help make them feel better,
Mhm.
help them feel their best, look their best. And maybe that could have been something a little girl was like self-conscious about. That little cut in her eyebrow, me just
Yeah.
was enough
Yeah.
to make
Yeah,
her
I'm
day.
sure I got one. It just
Mhm,
finally cleared up when I was in junior high school. Somebody
mhm.
bit me.
Oh
Yes.
man.
And let me tell y'all, you ain't got the that I don't want nobody out here looking for no revenge. Cause although we were young, the girl was always bad, and today she's in jail for life. So
Oh.
that follow
Mm,
and follow and follow. But to me, I always it's so weird you don't think like I've been through surgeries on my face, but that's why I still kind of wear a bang, even though I don't really need
mm,
it. But even little stuff like that, you do be subconscious about it. You don't really think
mm,
about it, but yes, ma'am. And what you just said, I gotta put a heart by this because I love how you vibe. I love how you think because what they say is not on you, it's in you. Like when you
mhm.
think about that it bring you joy because that little girl was happy. So one
Yeah.
time, right, I had, and maybe we could work on something like this too, because everything's just coming together so perfect. Next month, I'm going to do a show in San Diego with the kids. I got 15 youth models. I ain't even looked at them yet. I got to take some time to do that this evening. But it's going to make me step back into where I left off with that, just like my show almost. And I'm gonna share some stuff. So even if you know any children and kids, they got to kind of go through the company, but they're very excellent. So like 7 years ago, I signed up. I didn't go. I wasted my money. So this time I'm excited about doing it. And though I've been like pulled so many ways, right? I've been wanting to work with the kids for a minute, but they warned me
Mhm.
that the kids on the streets are a little different. So they was like, no, ma'am, we don't want you just out there on the streets right now, but just wait a minute. So I'm like, all right. So I figured this might be the way with the
Mm.
fashion and doing this. But one time I got invited to do a little girl, she's like a little kid celebrity. She wanted her birthday party to be a fashion show. Beautiful look. She was so
Cute.
smart, beautiful. She was like maybe about 11, right? So we pulled that thing together. Like the mother like I couldn't find anything at the Dollar Tree. I said, "Give me the money. Watch what I come out of here with." She's like, "Oh, because you creative, you can do that." But we set that yard up. They did this fashion show, and it was this one moment what you just said. Like
Mm,
after I was just like standing in the house, I just standing to the side, and the
mhm.
little girl woke up beside me right here, right, and she
Oh.
looked up and she was just looking at me and she said, thank you.
Oh.
And I was like, you welcome. But I could feel it. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like she just
Mhm.
like you made my vision come to life. So yes, we're gonna do something with these kids and these girls. I really feel that. So remember when I told you how fast the daggone hour go? So y'all,
Oh,
this only part
oh.
one. We gonna have 100 parts, y'all. We gonna have 100 parts so we get the purse. So
Oh.
send us some money and push us up there. So let me see. Is there anything? Um, well, I do want you before you close to let everybody know where to find you, where to see all of your great stuff, where to book you, and is there anything that you want to share with us?
Let's see. Well, never allow someone else to tell you that even if you're doing something that's your passion part-time, that it doesn't count. Because
Mm,
some people
yes.
will try to say, if it's not the only way that you make money, they try to look at it like, okay, well, that doesn't count. And I've had someone try to say, because I didn't do beauty all the time or full time, that it was, I miss my calling. But I'm like, well, how do I miss my calling? If I'm doing it right now, just because it's not the only way I make my money doesn't mean that I miss my calling. So I think sometimes people will try to, kind of downplay something that you do just because you have more than one stream of income, but always check them. Don't let them do that. Don't let them do it.
And I just want to add to that. And then when we come back, I'm going to let you give your shout outs and share your links. But I love when things flow together right. You know, we've been talking about the point that Miss Mindy's making since we came on. I said I've
Mhm.
been to work. This is a side thing, but it's not but it's a main.
Yeah.
Coming up as artists and creative people from young, we were very misled. We looking
Mhm.
at TV, we looking at Hollywood, we looking at celebrities. Oh, you're so creative. Oh, you can sing. Oh, you can dance. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of us as a people, we lack the business. I didn't really learn about the business till I left my peoples and moved to New York. And they was like, oh yeah, you're great, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that, but you got it twisted. It don't work. So you learn about the business. You learn it's not something that just fall down from the sky. It's not nothing that just happen fast. It's a process. Success is your life. It does. You're not just successful when you get that award. That's why you see people breaking down when they get the award. Oh, they're not just being happy and dumb because somebody gave. No, they're crying about what they had to come through to get to that point. So it's a
Mhm.
process, and you keep reinventing yourself. You keep revamping. And that's what I meant earlier when I was like, we think too much. Like we be worried about all this stuff when a person just want to know, can you beat my face? Can you make a song? I like your music. Can you do your show? I love your inspirational when you do your prayers. So don't allow adversarial people. It's gonna always be the people closest to you too, because don't nobody care what no strangers say. You care what the person closest to you say. So we
Mhm.
want to encourage y'all to stay empowered,
Yeah.
even if you don't have somebody in your ear. Only watch motivation online. Only watch motivation on YouTube. And we're supposed to have multiple streams of income. And
Mhm.
this is why what you said is so phenomenal and it's on time. I'm very big too now on timing. Like I just said, I gotta chill myself out. Everything not today. When you see big, it's hard sometimes going day to day. I gotta go to work. Okay, guess what? I'll do my show when I'm on. So
Yeah.
just find the time for it, babe. Stop
Yeah.
complaining. Stop being a victim. Take control. Well, if I can't do it these days, that doesn't mean it's not going to get done. There's no anxiety. I'm going to plan on one of my days off with Miss Mindy. We've been planning this thing for months, y'all, but today we got it done. So one last thing, and then I'm gonna let you take it home. Right? I've been trying to watch a little more programs because I see it is relaxing when you just turn on something and chill out. You don't always have to be a busybody, but it's not easy. So guess what I started watching, y'all? Don't laugh at me. I'm very late. Raising Canaan. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna give it to 50 Cent because y'all know he be acting crazy. I'm gonna give it to him. That boy good with them feelings. That boy good with those feelings. Now, being honest, I kind of stayed away because I thought it was too much like on the street stuff, but
Mhm.
it's always a story to learn. So this is what, oh, it's so real. When the sister that's the kingpin, y'all know she the ball. She mean it, I don't know what. But she was doing that to the brother. Did you see it? You know Raising Canaan?
Well, I've been seeing ads. It's been all over my feed for some reason,
Let me
but
tell
I haven't.
yeah. Oh, it's good, girl. That thing good. So the earlier show, I can't tell y'all this, but she have one brother. He in the game too. Y'all know how it is. But their family got a musical background. This man go get a studio. He start people telling him, "You're good. You're good. Your dad was this." Oh, not her. Not that sister. Not that sister. What she told him the other day, you ain't gonna make nothing out of that. That's my money. She told him, she said, I own you. Like
Mm.
this man went and started drinking and was crying almost, but he back on it now. Like he back, he met some people that, we gonna always meet new people. He met a white lady. That's how it works sometimes. She said, oh, you can come here and help me and you can manage the talent and you. So when you said that, it just took me back to when she tried to crush him, you know, but he back at it. So y'all stay at it and let our girl Miss Mindy take us home by telling us all of her ways to find her. And y'all bear with me. I'm gonna make sure the YouTube video is shareable and we're gonna download it and we're gonna keep sharing it every day.
Well, I am really active on Instagram, so I'm MG Beauty on Instagram. Not yeah, yeah, active on TikTok too, but on TikTok I am the MG Beauty, THE Beauty.
I found
And
you.
then you did okay, Facebook. I have like my page Mindy Green Beauty on Facebook. So I'm also on YouTube, which I believe is also the same thing, the MG Beauty.
Hmm.
So I'm all over, and I got a website, www.mgbeautymakeup.com. So, but pretty much if you DM me on Insta, if you want a book, I'm very responsive. That way too on my website.
Yes. I'm a book too. I'm gonna make something special and then I'm a book so my face can be made up. Thank you, Miss
Hmm,
Mindy. It was such a pleasure.
yeah.
It's such a pleasure. I should have been drinking some wine. I might have got too live on here. But yes, I'm looking forward to our next thing. We're gonna get together, have us a good time, and brainstorm, okay? I got some
Yeah.
ideas already, but I can't share them. Y'all, you know they be stealing, girl. So
Oh,
we're gonna wait for that. So you enjoy your
great.
evening and just thank
Yes,
you for
thank you.
everything. And I look
Yeah.
forward to our next segment.
Yes, thank you all for joining. Hope you
Thank
had a
y'all.
fabulous time. All right, good night.
All right. Good night. Hey, hungry.